Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The New Nasty Boys. I'm your co-host this morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you decide to watch or listen to this thing, Billy DeVore, and sitting next to me is my co-host,
Chris Weir. What's up, Nasty Nation? Welcome back to the Fart Dunge. Good to have you back.
We're in the Fart Dunge after the Reds took the first one in Atlanta. But that still doesn't erase what happened over the weekend coming out of the All-Star break, what some might call a Nationals tragedy. So,
yeah, they stumbled out of the box there.
whoo, buddy, stumbled out of the box, and we're right here in the Fart Dunge, getting ready to bring you a hot, steamy post-All-Star break extravaganza.
Yeah, baby.
I think that's the only way to put it, is extravaganza and a Nationals tragedy. Dude, you had a great weekend.
Oh, thank you, man. It was a blast. Thanks to everyone that came out, anyone from the Nasty Nation, really appreciate it. I want to thank everybody that was on the show. We had Camel Connor featuring, tremendous comic out of Indy. Phil Pointer was doing the hosting most of the week. We had Carter Doherty. Billy did a set. John Holmes did a set. Rashika, Cat West. And then we also there was another guest set I think I might be leaving out.
Know exactly who you were leaving out. Friend of the pod, John Holmes.
I said John Holmes.
You did say John Holmes?
I'm pretty sure I did. Oh no, there was another John Bunyan. That was
the
Johnny
Double J.
Buns.
Johnny Buns. Hot cross Johnny Buns.
Yeah, he crushed it, man.
Dude, John Bunyan's so funny.
Yeah, he's a great comic, and I was glad to have him on. Glad to have everybody on. Thanks to everybody that came out. Thanks to all the comics. It was too much fun. It was a great weekend.
A lot of people say John Bunyan very funny. Not a lot of people mention how tall he is.
I know, right? I wish they'd talk more about it.
I wish they would. I wish he made more jokes about how tall he was, too. You know, he's like 9 feet tall.
Yeah, he scrapes the ceiling. He's a gangly, spooky fellow.
Guy sneezes and he dunks. It's impressive. It's pretty impressive at his ripe young age of mid-60s. He still throws it down.
I bet, dude. He can probably wear those big rec specs. He looks like one of those dangerous dudes, from the 70s. They can really bring it up here.
Yeah, a Bill Walton type, if you will.
Oh, for sure.
I'll give you that. Bill Walton, white Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Also, one thing John Bunyan and Kareem have in common, both Muslim.
Very true.
So true. Just start spreading that lie. Did you hear that John Bunyan converted to being a Muslim?
Yes, he did. I saw him at the mosque the other day.
Yeah. And he looks good.
I notice he only points towards Mecca now.
Well, that's just his nose. He's very tall.
Get out of here.
Come on.
Also, thanks to Go Bananas, everybody there. Mikey, Marty, entire staff. Had a blast.
Yeah, they're the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's why it's always such a good time being there. It's home, baby.
Had a bunch of fun at the Banana.
At the Nanner Ranner. And then, got some baseball in between there, and just a good weekend.
It was fun. Yeah, we got to chill back here. Cam and I did watch some of the Sunday game, just chilling.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
That Sunday one was a fun one, too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
The weekend was just so deflating, which, we needed this Reds dub so bad.
I will say, I think I know just because of just how current it was, but this really did feel, and I'll ask you, did this feel like the worst drop of the year in terms of a series?
I mean,
for the time that it came
yes.
at a very pivotal time, starting in the second half after the All-Star break, coming off of trade conversations, and you really want to come make a statement game, get above 500, then
yeah, and then just that dung beetle pushing up that huge thing of poop just came back and rolled him over, and then it just actually, instead of gaining, it lost poop, because that's what the dung beetle needs.
And now we all got pink eye.
Yeah, I have a severe blood infection.
Yeah, no, this isn't red for the Reds. It's pink eye.
Yeah, it's pink eye, and I am very gaunt from the lack of red blood cells.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Yeah, dude, it's really great. And then also, and then the deflating loss on Sunday, we were like, really? A sweep to the Nationals? And then John Morosi coming in with that tweet, which we'll talk and cover later. It's just like, come on. Are you serious? Mm-hmm. And it feels like it's all falling apart when there's still, I don't know when this comes out, tomorrow, 7 days to be able to make some moves at the break or before the trade deadline, right? 7 or is it 8? Because it's the 31st. There's 31 days in July, and tomorrow will be the 23rd. So 7, So 8 days. 8 days. I had to do some out loud math, and I feel so dumb.
I just confidently nod. That's correct. I let the other person, make the decisions there on the numbers, and I was like, I concur.
I concur. I was just waiting for you to get over here and pull up the abacus.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, this team is this many games back. We're this far back. There's this many days till the trade deadline.
And I still don't know.
And I don't... What are these beads? They're different colors. I'm so confused. How do people use this?
I don't know. But, and they did just come off a win from the Braves, starting off the first game of the series here, looking like a much different team. So this is just how it happens with the Reds.
Yeah, I mean, just anytime you can have your all-star take the bump and continue to pitch at an all-star level, you feel a lot better about your chances and moving forward for the rest of what you have coming up right before the trade deadline to make a move or do anything instead of just selling off. But there are ways that they can sell and still buy at the same time at this deadline and for it to be productive. Mm-hmm. We'll get into that too. So I had a great weekend with you on Saturday, did the show. Fantastic. Friday night, it was a beautiful night. 78 degrees. So Alicia and I got some lights. We strung them up, set up our patio finally. After talking about it for years, got out the egg, made some burgers, filled up a cooler full of ice, dumped a bunch of seltzers in it, smoked a couple cigars, had some buddies over, and the next thing I know, I look at my watch and it's 6 a.m.
Oh, girl, that's how it happens.
That's exactly how it happens. Everything you need is just right in proximity of 10 feet. So it's like a giant tray of pasta salad, burgers I've grilled up, booze, cigar I have cut. Everyone I like is right in front of me. It's like, I don't have to worry about anything.
There's no reason to stop what you're doing, man.
None. And then the best part is you're in your own backyard. To go pee, you just stand up and walk over to the fence and shush the dog away.
Oh, it's so good, man. I love having diarrhea out your fence. So fun. Sorry to your neighbors.
Well, what's really cool is we've got that outside bidet. It's called the Hose.
Oh, yeah, love it, man.
It's pretty fantastic.
You got your bidet sponsored by Home Depot.
Yeah, I'm more of a Menards guy because they sell bacon. So it's just like, that kind of set me back Saturday, but I was good. And then Sunday was my grandmother's birthday. She turned 82.
Happy birthday, Graham.
Grammy. So we went and celebrated that. Then Alicia had her brother and his wife come in with their 4 kids, and they're expecting a 5th. So we had an army of children at the house, and I was just so glad that I had such a great time with them. They're so fun. But if there was a way I could give myself a vasectomy in the kitchen, I would have done it that night.
Oh, yeah? You just knifed it right out?
Would have just clawed in. They're great kids, but man, there's a reason I don't have them.
Yeah, don't need to have them. That is fun, though, because there is times like you'll hang out with like we have nice nieces and nephews. You hang out like, I could see ourselves having kids. And then you have that one aunt and uncle that come over where they're just devil children, and you're just like, I am so glad we are in the pull-out method because this is despicable.
Yeah, that's why my uncle Trip, he doesn't have any kids, and he would look at us after having us for like a sleepover. He'd look at my mom and he goes, "You know what the best part of this whole thing is?" And my mom would go, "What?" And he goes, "Giving them back." Pushes, "See you, kids." Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, I want to be like that guy.
Oh, yeah. Give him a bunch of sugar, get him hyped up, just get a little booze drunk, hanging out back there. Uncle's goofy.
Yeah, he's the most fun. Why is he going out the back so many times? He smells weird when he comes back.
He smells like Grandpa. Yeah,
he
man.
Smells like that other cool uncle.
He smells like the cool guy.
The cool guy.
Smells a little skunky.
Yeah. He bought, it was so funny. He bought like one of my nephews' drum kit for Christmas.
Ooh,
and
rad.
He was just sitting there like, isn't this great? She's like, fuck you, Trip.
Those are loud.
Those are loud, and that's super fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I followed that model, and so far, pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Ended up in the fart dunge talking about baseball. I'm thriving.
Exactly. No kids screaming. Just got to kill some fish over there. Yeah. Watching the chinchilla, making sure he's not running amok.
No, he's just sitting there, just nobbling away at his food and his fingies. Just being real cute.
Eating his food, reading his newspaper.
He's like, guess what? I'm not a coat.
This is good.
This is nice. So, yeah, I had a great weekend, and then back in the saddle with Red's dub. But more importantly, over last week, we had a little bit of the break, And we had 2 All-Stars.
Yeah, we did.
2 All-Stars, and they made appearances. One was better than the other. I'll let you guys be the judge on who was better. But, dude, Elly De La Cruz gets in there. They put him at third, rips a double.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was sick.
Mm-hmm. Just step it up to the moments. He just keeps having these situations where it's just like there isn't a stage that we've seen him on that hasn't been too big for him.
No, it's like the lights get brighter, and Elly also gets brighter because the light reflects off his chains, and he's like, dude, I look so cool right now. I know I look awesome. And then just rips it along the left field line and just sprints out for the double. Also, he was wearing the coolest cleats.
Yeah, he was.
Louis Vuitton pink high-top Nike cleats. Does it get any flashier than that?
That was pretty tight. I really liked it, man. I think I'm going to get myself a pair.
Dude, yeah, me too. I totally need a pair. Yeah, you can probably get them fair market value for like $180 at Nike, you know?
Something like that. I mean, I don't need like top-notch speed, so whatever you guys can do.
If you guys have like loafers,
or I'll just get it like a knockoff version. Knockoff cleats.
Yeah, these are my Louis Vitos.
My Louis Vitos.
My Louis Vitos. Yeah. It comes with the Sunday gravy on the inside the shoe.
It's Coach, but it's Coach from Cheers.
Yeah, whenever I pick up a glass, I feel like I gotta keep drying this thing. Yeah. I need a towel over my shoulder when I got these on.
It really helps getting hit in the head. It's a deep cut.
Shut up, Woody. But like, the only thing that was a bummer is he didn't put those cleats to good use and steal third base.
I was a little confused on that. I thought for sure he'd be stealing regardless. Was that like a premeditated thing where he thought like maybe like I'm not going to steal, I'm not going to do anything?
Yeah, because they're like, guys, it's an all-star game. Don't like push it. But at the same time, all of America's like, oh my God, we keep hearing about this speed. He's so much faster than everybody. He has more steals than like half of the teams in Major League Baseball. We get to see him on second, steal third.
Yeah, I thought for sure he was going to, and just thinking about like how you don't want to push yourself sometimes, but like it seems pretty safe to be using speed in the way that which he is to steal a base. I don't think there's going to be a lot of injuries coming from that. But to me, I felt like maybe he decided beforehand he wasn't going to.
Yeah, and I think that was the wrong decision.
I agree. Unless there was something else going on where it just wasn't working out for him to steal. But yeah, I was perplexed at that.
Yeah, it was stupid. Mm-hmm. You wear the pink cleats with the Louis V logo, you take third, and then you steal home.
Yeah. I thought he was going to steal a base and then have those cleats, sign them and to sell them, for, tens of thousands of dollars.
Or they just go to Cooperstown.
Probably.
That could also be a case. Man, it was a bummer, but like, I get it. I guess it's like, it's a friendly exhibition. We're all friends. We're having fun. We're all mic'd up. And then it's just like, you just stay at second. Don't go to third until it's like out there over there somewhere. So,
yeah, don't embarrass our catchers.
Yeah, please. Okay, we're not here to show anybody up while everyone's wearing the most flashy shit.
Yeah.
And like with specialty bats and the ugliest uniforms. It's like, yeah, man, I'm not going to steal, but instead I will wear this $9 million chain.
Yeah, I'm just really being very humble over here, not trying to show off. As there's a big flyover going on and there's stars flying everywhere and fucking terrible national anthem happening.
With a Lockheed Martin ad in left center field.
Oh, delightful.
Isn't it great? That's how you know it's Texas, dude.
Texas and America.
That's right. Freedom because the bombs are paid for by these people.
Military-industrial complex.
Yep, we buy them. We're employed by them. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. What is it? Them and then... what was Cheney's company? That was at Halliburton.
Halliburton.
Halliburton. They're a sponsor at Houston Stadium too. So it's like, man, whoof, pew 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 pew.
Yeah, brought to you by the destruction in Gaza. How about it?
War's our game, so it doesn't have to be for you.
Mm-hmm.
So the other side of it, Hunter Green came in, pitched an inning. He did not look great.
No, he didn't really bring it.
No, it wasn't that he didn't even bring it. It was just like he couldn't finish his breaking stuff. It was just the slider kept falling out of his hand, and it was always up, and he couldn't control it. And it seemed like the lights did get to him. gave up that homer to Jared Duran, which sealed it for the American League, and I lost $25.
Bummer, but I will say Hunter Green brought it where it meant the most, which was this game he just pitched. I mean, he shoved for 7 innings.
Yes, strong shove.
Yeah, but on the bigger stage, did not perform.
No, but I'm really glad he got the jitters out of his system on the big stage in a game where it really doesn't matter.
Correct, and it'll be fun for him in years to come because it's not going to be his last All-Star game that he goes to. It'll be fun. And also, it was really fun watching Elly hobnob with Shohei and all these guys. It's awesome. He just fits in with this whole big culture around baseball.
Where he's like, hey, like everyone there is like, hey, you made it, kid. Welcome. And now he's like, I just get to hang out with all these people I like.
It's fun. Let's trade hats.
Let's do that. Let's trade hats. I get to talk to Derek Jeter, A-Rod, and David Ortiz. So rad.
Yeah, and I know we talked about that interview he did with Jeter and Big Papi, but that was so cool hearing Elly talk about how he wants to communicate and do it for, the people, in the Dominican, and also just show everyone that, it's possible to do that.
Yeah, man, just lead the charge on being a good influence to the kiddos. Be a positive influence in the world, and don't, perpetuate violence and hate. Like some baseball players do. Like the St. Louis Cardinals. Boo!
Hiss.
Gross. Hiss, boo. Also, I would like to say, what a transition, huh?
Yeah, I liked it.
That was pretty skillful. It's almost like I've done this a time or two. Dude, the St. Louis Cardinals are doing this thing now where they are covering their ear and putting up a fist and going and keep putting up a fist. And then when asked about it, they said, what? That's not about Trump.
Why would you even think that?
How could you assume you're stupid? You're dumb. No, you're dumb. You don't know this clubhouse. You don't know what we do down here. We spread hate equally. We're the Cardinals.
Yeah. No, this Let's Go Brandon shirt, that's for my buddy Brandon. He's the ballpark dude we got down here.
Yeah, you know the ballpark dude, the second baseman, Brandon Donovan?
Yeah, come on.
We're cheering him on. Look at us, huh? Get out of here.
Trash club.
Awful pieces of shit. Dude, okay, so now I love the explanation. This is from Katie Wu at The Athletic. First off, they go to Matt Carpenter. And they're like, hey, Matt, you know how you're like the wily vet? And they're like, yeah, and I'm getting ready to get this ear pierced too. It's like, no, don't do that. But go talk to Katie and say that this isn't about Trump. He's like, oh yeah, I can just lie. We're toxic gaslighters. We're the Cardinals. And then goes up to Katie Wu and is just like, I'll talk down to you because you're a woman. That's what 45 would do. And she's like, what? He's like, that's not true. Alec Burleson was a DJ in college. They called him Biscuit. Come on.
Makes total sense, right?
Makes the most sense because, I've always looked up to guys who can make music and their DJ name is Biscuit.
And dude, like seriously, the arrogance to think like, oh, if you think it's that thing, then you're dumb. Then you're the problem. You're divisive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Because you know how DJs do this all the time. Yeah. No, come on. Just own it. At least be like, if you're going to do that on the field, completely own it and roll into it. If you want to do that and be trash, be the dumpster fire, be the whole landfill. Don't just be like, no, actually, I do recycle. Fuck off.
I didn't steal this bag. It was the minorities around me. I had nothing to do with it. They was stolen before I got here.
You don't understand. I have an earworm, ear infection. It's very bad. Bad things. Bad for this country. It's just like, come on. Like, I get it. Good old boys. Go for it.
Yeah, it just makes total sense that it's the Cardinals. I mean, screw them. They're just a disgraceful organization. Don't care for them.
Don't care for them one bit. And guess what? Now they have zero leeway from me for this malarkey.
Yeah, exactly. Go screw.
Go screw yourself. Just get out of here. And no. And then Taylor Walls goes out and hits a double, and he gets on to second. And the guy, he plays for the Tampa Bay Rays, which who would have thought a guy who plays in Tampa would do this? Goes to second. He hits a double. He just goes, fight. Which I'm like, all right, you're batting 218. You have your moment in the sun.
Yeah.
But when it's a whole team-wide thing, and you got Lars Nootbaar out there and everybody else doing it, and then you just gaslight us, come on.
Dude, that's so gross. Did you see the Nationals game? I think it was Sunday maybe, or Saturday, where one of the dudes sitting behind like the Diamond Club had a big MAGA hat on.
I'm sorry to inform you, he was there all weekend.
Oh my goodness, yeah, and he looks so. I remember when Elly got thrown up and in, and everyone else had this big reaction. He's there just looking at Elly falling down, like, yeah, that's right. Just had that look on his face, like, you gross piece of crap.
You were awful, dude. You know what's even more crazy is like, I since the incident with the ear grazing, I have seen more and more MAGA hats out, and especially at the ballpark.
That sucks.
I'll tell you this. Those people who wear those hats will be the first person to tell an athlete, an actor, or a comedian that they don't want to hear about their politics.
But will wear it everywhere they possibly can on their body to throw it in your face.
Yeah, to say that you're the asshole for ruining their good time, when instead I look and I see that and I'm like, man, that is a symbol of I hate this.
Correct.
I hate it. Just, oh my God. You know what bothers me even more? Is that it's just such a poorly made hat.
It really is. It looks like absolute garbage. You bought the worst low-grade hat that you could, and you bought it from China, got it made very cheaply, very poorly, being sold at a very expensive price, and you fell for it. It's a con man's game.
Yeah, I think you're so stupid. You're just a billboard, just like, make me buy a better hat. That's
You bought merch from a sex criminal. That's Jeffrey Epstein's best friend.
Oh.
He was on his plane how many times? You don't go to Epstein Island to work on your tennis game, okay? He's getting massages.
Get massages, get massages from women well over age. They were very over the age.
They look exactly like my daughter. Look at her, isn't she something?
Daughter loves the Cardinals. Big St. Louis Cardinals fan.
Mm-hmm.
So, dude, it's just whatever. It's just insane, and it sucks to see it. And I don't know.
But I'll say, Joe Biden fans are also, because they're always wearing their big Go Joe hats and getting in your face with their big flags and driving around, taking up 2 parking spots at all the Applebee's.
Yeah, they're always out there just storming the Trader Joe's, trying to get to those 3 for $12 microwavable meal deals.
Trying to get those ice cream scoops for Joe.
Oh, it's a shame how loud their electric cars are.
I know, right?
And then when they get their rallies together and they just take over the highway and it's just a sea of Priuses, you're like, wow, they're really spreading their message.
I know, walk around with those tiki torches all the time, spreading the good news of the Lord.
Those aren't actually tiki torches. What's really cool is they're solar paneled rechargeable lamps.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're environmentally friendly.
That's good, to cut down on light pollution.
So, yeah, fuck the Cardinals.
Yeah, and also fuck DJs while we're at it. And anyone named Biscuit.
And anybody named...
Except for the one Biscuit that we do know.
Limp.
Oh, that one too.
I love Limp Bizkit.
Okay,
I do not love Limp Bizkit.
Who's
the other Biscuit? Oh, Biscuit Corwin.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a great biscuit.
Yeah, he's a good biscuit.
He's a good roll. Good biscuit roll.
Good roll of biscuits.
Good roll of biscuits. So, yeah, just fuck the Cardinals. If you never needed another reason to say fuck the Cardinals, that's fine. And if us talking about this is something where you're like, oh man, I didn't know they were going to ever take like a political stance like this or something. Come on. You had to know by now.
Come on, we're not that dumb.
We're not that dumb. I'm wearing sweatpants. Come on. Let's get back to baseball. We were talking about baseball, but then it bled into politics, and now we can have it swing right back into politics because I'll tell you what the Reds didn't do. They didn't storm Nationals Park and take the series.
No, they didn't. Yeah,
Did that work?
Yeah, that works.
That works.
Yay!
Yes. Okay, good transition. The problem with Friday, Saturday, Sunday was you couldn't pinpoint one thing that went wrong for the boys because everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong.
a cacophony of errors happened. It was a lot of things, like you said. It wasn't just one individual to point to. There was a lot of things that just was not clicking for the Reds for this series.
Yeah, let's just take a look at all of them. We're mostly looking at the negative because not a lot of positives came out of it. Here are the positives. Tyler Stevenson homered. Jake Fraley tripled. Stuart
Abbott.
Fairchild homered. Abbott, he medium. I'm very medium on that Abbott performance. A lot of walks, a lot of traffic. We'll get to that breakdown in a second. But like, those are your like goods there.
Yeah.
Novi Marte homered.
Correct.
A lot of offensive good happened, but not enough to take one of these games from the Nationals.
Such a bummer, man. You really expected them to come out of the gate playing hard, playing aggressive, going downhill. Statement time. Let's start clicking our way to get above 500. And bam, just really underwhelming performances by a lot of players here for this series.
I can't even put whelming after the under.
Yeah.
It's just under. So under. Friday, Frankie Montes fell apart. 4 2/3, 7 earned runs, 6 hits, 3 walks, 3 Ks. First 3 innings, he looked sharp. I was like, man, he's cruising. And then things just became bad. I mean, those balls became beach balls.
They did. And we see that a lot with Frankie, where it seems like, all right, he's got it. And all of a sudden, oh, he does not got it.
He is not hitting his spots. And that is, to quote a Reds broadcasting legend, right down about way.
Correct. I'm not sure because it doesn't seem to be so much mechanical stuff. It seems to be like a mental thing where he's going great and then he has like a bit of a weird couple pitch sequences, gets a guy on, and then he just starts to just slowly become less and less of the pitcher that he was the previous couple innings.
Exactly. And what's also interesting, like, okay, so when you look at his pitch mix, 24 fastballs, 18 cutters, 18 splitters, 17 sinkers. That is 4 different fastballs. And 1 off-speed slider. You could say a splitter is, off-speed, but it's still coming in there 86.1 when his max on his 4-seam or his average was 95.8, which again, good to see the uptick in the velocity. So okay, I'll give you that. Splitter and slider, both his off-speed stuff. The cutter wasn't really cutting after the third, and the fastball he was missing his spots a little bit. Sinker was a little flat too. He wasn't getting a lot of whiffs. He had 12 whiffs on 84 pitches in general. That's just bad.
Yeah, he wasn't being efficient, and then once his stuff starts to level out, he doesn't have necessarily blow you away stuff, although he is ticking up a bit on his 4-seam, which is nice. However, once he starts to fall off, he tends to fall off quickly.
Yes. And also, if his splitter ain't splitting and his slider ain't sliding, he has no other out pitch.
No, they're just sitting on just whatever's kind of coming straight at him, very similar sort of mile per hour. So, yeah, if those things aren't working, he's just very limited.
Yes. And then you follow that up. He gave up, 2 homers, and those 5 of those runs that he gave up of the 7. I mean, that sucks, but hey, man, that's a part of it, and you're giving those up in crucial situations. And if you're looking at the Reds possibly being sellers, this is not the performance you wanted to have from him.
No, that's bad. It doesn't bode well for the Reds. Again, we're going to see what happens here with this Atlanta series, but a combination of things could happen regardless of what the Reds do here win-loss-wise over the next week or so. But yeah, you definitely want to see him have a better performance than that. 1, to get the team in a good position to win, but 2, also to increase his potential trade value.
Yeah, and so him having this bad performance hurts us in the fact that if we win the game. Hey, we're closer to everybody else in the wild card stuff. We lose and you pitch bad, then how are we supposed to move you? So it's just like, cool. It's like a double-edged sword that doesn't have the handle.
Yeah, exactly. It's just pointing in and back.
And it's like, how do I not fall on this thing? And then Buck Farmer came in and gave up another run, which was, man, that was so cool. That was awesome.
That was rad.
That was so rad. They tried to come back. It came down to Elly De La Cruz, the guy you want at the dish, getting ready. One swing could have tied it up and strikes out.
Yeah, he can't put a team on his back. He's got a cape on, but he can't always, carry a team.
No. No. And so you're putting a lot on that guy in that situation. You hope, like, man, could this be one of the signature moments of the 2024 season? Elly walking it off against the Nats on the road. Man, this could be really cool. And then it's like, nope. Dang.
Yeah, bummer. We keep getting those situations where we're looking at trying to have this late-minute rally here, like in the 9th or the 8th, trying to make up for 4 runs. And it's been interesting, but we aren't winning these one-run in close games like we were last year.
No, they're putting too much pressure on themselves. Because this year they were supposed to be good. Hey, we're the darlings. Mm-hmm. And then it doesn't happen. You have the injuries and everything that's happened. And, offensively, the start of the season was abysmal. So then you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, and instead of being like, hey, we aren't supposed to be here, you win those one-run games in your head, right? You're just like, who gives a shit? We're just going to go play ball. And this year, with expectations, every single time it seems like they inch towards living up to the hype and the expectations, they kind of fall back down and they regress because they're putting the pressure on themselves and they don't follow through. And it shows when it comes down to locking up the third game in a series. It comes to, especially after blowing out a team in the first game of a series, it comes to the point where it's like, hey, you need this sweep against this team that's only won 21 games, and they don't do it. It seems like they inch towards it, and then they just fall back down.
Yeah, that does seem to be a very familiar pattern because we have seen them play very well against very good teams. But yeah, it does seem to be that they press a lot, and we do have this compacting situation of bad mental plays and is trying to play baseball in a situation where you're tight and stressful.
Oh, the mental stuff. We'll get to that with a certain Reds player. That's a real bummer, but when you look at Saturday, Nick Lodolo had a lot of strikeouts, but didn't have a great day. I mean, he went 6 1/3, he had 4 earned runs, 6 hits, 1 walk, 8 Ks. That keeps you in it, but you kind of want to see that 6 1/3 followed by the earned run being a 2 or a 3. 2, you're like, man, that was a great start. 3, you're like, man, that's a quality start. It kept you in it. 4, ugh.
We're talking earned run there, 2, 3, but he just had the 0 earned run. I think I missed something there, buddy.
No, Nick Lodolo had 4.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Runs.
I was looking at Abbott.
Yeah, you jumped today.
Sorry, I'm like, what am I thinking? No, I was thinking about Abbott. I can't get my mind off him. That mustache.
You've been locked in on him.
I know, right? He's got that little catfish face.
Yeah, the ginger hurler.
Ginger hurler.
The ginger hurler. But Lodolo did give up that nuke to Harold Ramirez. That thing was belt high. And when you're not getting fooled by Lodolo with the arm slot or the break, you can be a little flat.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's because his stuff is just a lot of it, not just the finesse. It's how he's tunneling those pitches, and if it's just kind of off, then, well, his effectiveness goes with it. And, of course, that blister situation, I'm not quite sure how much it's affecting his pitches, but if he's not as effective as he was pre-blister, kind of hard not to think about it.
Yeah. And, dude, he pitched really, I think if I remember correctly, he did pitch really well against Miami before the break. Mm-hmm. So you look at this and you go, all right, well, a little bit of a regression on the road. And, he, like you said, wasn't tunneling right. And when in his lateral game, if it's not great and it's not where it's like dominant, then yeah, it looks a little flat and that happens. But the Reds, what was really disappointing is the Reds couldn't take advantage of what was essentially a bullpen game from the Nationals with Mackenzie Gore only going 3 2/3 innings. And being a lefty, you're like, man, okay, let's see what they can do. And then they just shut down.
They almost knocked him out of the first inning. I think they had him throw around 40 pitches, something like that.
51 pitches.
Unreal. So you think, okay, at least we're going to do some damage in the bullpen, maybe have some good luck come the game after, make it more difficult for him. But again, not capitalizing on these critical moments where you have to win and beat teams every inning, or otherwise they claw their way back in. And if you don't just build on top of those runs that you get early on, we're in these situations where we keep losing.
Yep, from the 4th inning on, the Reds didn't score a run. Mm-mm. So you're telling me that the Nationals bullpen is shutting down this lineup. They did that day. And then it follows up when it really matters. Justin Wilson hung one to James Wood to just seal the deal for the Nats.
That was a gross one.
Dude, I mean, that was such a bad pitch. Mm-hmm. I know what he was trying to do, where he was trying to place it, but it didn't happen. And that's what happens with Justin Wilson when his slider hangs. And we've seen it far too many times this year, where what have we said? Throw him till his arm falls off.
And it's about there.
We're off. Dude, we are like at 11:58 on the Justin Wilson doomsday clock.
Yeah, man. It was not a great. That was pretty much the dagger right there, just solidifying like, oh, you guys aren't going to win this one. We're taking it from you here.
Yep, and this one's ours. And then Sunday, Abbott, where you've now given him credit 3 times.
Who?
The ginger hurler?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, your favorite.
Yeah.
He went 6 2/3 with 0 earned runs, 6 hits, 3 walks, 1 K. 6 2/3, really cool. 0 earned runs, really cool. 6 hits, 3 walks, not cool. 1 K, whatever, man. As long as that earned run number is 0, you had a good day.
Absolutely. The 0 earned runs, of course, there was an error that led to some runs, but the 3 walks that he did have, that is something to keep an eye on. But he does consistently figure out ways to in-game make adjustments and work around the situations that are coming up with him, for that outing.
Yeah, the error you were talking about was 2 of the runs to help seal that deal, dude. Mm-hmm. That was the big one. Oh, wait, did I mix up my days? Oh, no, I didn't.
No, we're good. I'm just screwing with you, buddy. I'm the one who was messed up, and you're following my lead.
No, here's the thing. I'm like so dumb. Justin Wilson hung 2 over the weekend. I'm so dumb. I was like, no way that Justin did it twice when we're recapping this. And I'm like, oh, no, yeah, he did.
So that doomsday clock, where's it at now?
11:59.
Oh, my goodness.
Dude, we're so close to the precipice.
I hate to scroll even further. It's like that Grover book. Don't keep going. There's a monster at the end of this.
No. Pick your own adventure, and you skip a couple pages, you go forward, like, oh, yeah, back.
That's where I'm going to
go. No, I'm not going there. Yeah, I'm going to follow the gnome, not the knight. This podcast is Team Gnome, not Team Knight, okay? Very, very important to let everybody know that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know of the book, just vaguely enough to know the reference.
Okay, so it's actually a thing from TikTok. There's this guy dressing up as a gnome. What he does is he runs in front of like a retail store and he goes, shh, and then he crouches down. He's got a green blanket.
I've seen that.
Big wizard. Yeah, I'm Team Gnome all the way.
It's a funny little clip.
They're so funny. Mm-hmm. It's great. I don't feel bad for the workers anymore because they're just expecting it. They see this guy covered in face tattoos, and he ducks, and he becomes a green little gnome. It's like, yeah, man, the gnome guy's here, and it's free advertising for our store.
It's silly, and we're not getting paid enough to do anything. He's not stealing stuff. I don't care.
I don't care. Yeah, he's just being chased by a guy in tinfoil.
Yeah, I work in retail. What are we gonna do? This is terrible.
Yeah, this sucks. I'm too hungover to chase him.
Yeah, this is the reason why I show up high.
Yeah, because this becomes way more entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. You kidding me? How was your day at work, dude? I thought I hit it too hard in the car, and I was like, dude, I saw a gnome. Turns out, dude, did see a real gnome at work.
No way, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Next time I'm doing mushrooms.
Yeah.
But yeah, Justin Wilson hung one. We're pro gnome. Justin Wilson hung another one to James Wood, and it was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, devastating. Bummer.
Real bummer. And then they just couldn't get it together on Sunday. Because then also, oh yeah, I forgot to say this. I'm so sorry. We didn't say any earned runs for Abbott, but there were 2 that scored because of Novi Marte.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that.
He botched it at third. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that error cost 2 runs in 2 different plays.
Do you want to explain that play? Because I didn't get to watch it live.
So here's what happened. Runners coming off of third, and Austin Wins has him dead to rights. Mm-hmm. Guns it to third. Novi misses the catch. Instead of paying attention to that, he was looking at the ball, and he just leapt, and he leapt weird, and then the ball hit the top of his glove and went behind him, and run scored.
It's weird, and we were just talking about this watching Noelvi play in this game. When he's playing the hot corner, playing third, when he has no time to think, he plays fine. When he trusts his hands, but you can see him actively think when a ball is hit slowly or he has time to collect himself. That's when he gets the yips like a little bit and just starts to process. But it's not a game where you need to it's reactionary. It's that you got to go with the flow of it, and he's getting a little tense, and that's when he's making those issues.
Yeah, it's also showing at the plate, like if he's getting his pitch that he's looking for, he homers. But that's only happened so far 3 times this year.
Yeah, and he was correcting it before, but I noticed it in this game. He's still like stepping in the bucket like a little bit. He's opening up a little too much, and then they're throwing that off-speed breaking pitch where it might start, as a strike, and he's opening up like, oh, I'm going to pull the no, and then no power. None. And that's when he's going to pull over on it and ground it, to the shortstop for an easy week out.
And trust me, we have emailed David Bell, we've DM'd him, we sent smoke signals, we released the pigeon. We have told him this is what Novi's doing. Nothing back. Nothing.
No responses, any of our LinkedIn stuff. Very upsetting, David.
We found David Bell's live journal from 2002. Nothing.
It's raunchy.
Dude, I didn't know you could write erotica about that. Did you know that you could?
Oh, no, but I have some other things I want to send you.
Yeah. More pointers and notes.
Yeah. Stuff that's from a hard drive that's buried underneath some of these floorboards here. It's all right.
Oh, beautiful. I didn't know the Fart Dunge held so many secrets.
Oh, so many.
So it really was a bummer to be like, man, coming to the All-Star break, you really needed your Red Legs to step up, and they didn't. And the icing on the cake is John Morosi tweeted, sources, the Reds swept by the Nats this weekend are indicating to teams that they are willing to move players on expiring contracts. The Orioles are among the clubs with interest in their pitching, including Frankie Montas and Nick Martinez. I would like to start here. When I saw this posted on Reddit, and I saw John Morosi's face, and I saw the little avatar, the first thing I thought was, we're going to listen to the guy who said that Shohei was in Toronto. I don't know how much validity Morosi has after that. Really knocked it down for me.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to trust this tweet. However, it's a sensible tweet to say the Reds might, trade some players. Well, yeah, but I'm not quite sure if the Orioles, I'm not betting on this being real. Yeah. However, if they did move Frankie or Martinez, it wouldn't be a crazy move.
No, it's not crazy. And you have some depth that you can kind of replace from. It's not going to be the same quality, especially with Nick Martinez. But here's the big thing. Frankie has a mutual option. Nick Martinez has a player option for the next year. So you're kind of pitching, hey, this could be a rental, or this could be +1. So how do you pitch that, saying, and when you're negotiating in this process, hey, this could be a short/short-ish solution to your problems. Mm-hmm. You just don't know with their contract stuff. So I think you're going to, if you were to see somebody more likely to get moved, I don't think it's Frankie after what happened over the weekend.
No, there's not going to be a lot of teams vibing or vying for him.
No. Dude, they could be vibing for him.
No, they could be vibing, dog.
Yeah, the Cardinals could be DJing.
That's what they could be doing there.
Setting up that vibe for you.
Got another turntable over here for you, bro.
That's on a turntable? Oh, my God. That's another Make America Great Again blanket.
Oh, my God. It's not a turntable. It's a gallows they erected. You guys need to be nicer.
Nicer. But, dude, and all right. So, with that going in, you kind of look, and if I were to look at this Reds pitching and this bullpen where you pull from, you look at the expiring contracts. You look at Buck Farmer, expiring contract. Justin Wilson, expiring contract. Either one of them did not pitch well enough over the weekend to be like, you know what? I'm going to ask for one of your top 30 prospects for one of these fellas.
Yeah, I don't think they've done too much good advertising for themselves. So the Reds are still in a murky situation.
Yeah. Also, the only other one I can think of is maybe Fernando Cruz, 34, has a great splitter, pitches well with runners on base. That's his strong suit. But also, he's ARB eligible in 2 years after this. So you have plenty of time to have him, although he is 34. And then the other one would be Lucas Sims, who has had an up and down season, but has pitched really well in the past. I think that's the one you're going to get the most for.
Yeah. I can't remember how old he is again, but he does have really great, if you're looking at spin rate numbers like that, I can see a pitching staff looking at those metrics and saying, yes, we can work with this. Similarly to a Fernando Cruz, where they've seen what devastating stuff he can do with his pitch combinations. And yeah, he is older, but there's teams that can find solutions on their team with these players.
Yeah, Lucas Sims is 30.
Get him out of here.
Yep, we'll see you. And it's just then you look down at the Reds. When I say like easily replaceable, I'm not meaning that way. I mean that you can replace them with something that is close. Zach Maxwell has pitched really, really well in AAA. I mean, the guy's got almost 2.5 times more strikeouts than walks.
Yeah, we were just looking at those numbers before, weren't we?
Yeah.
That guy looks like he's a hoss. He's a cannonball of a dude looking guy.
Beefy boy. That's someone you're like, I'll give you a look. Ian Jabot could be back by the middle of August.
What's Ashcraft up to?
Ashcraft is still waiting on that injection. We're still waiting.
Yeah.
And then the other one, bullpen wise, Emilio Pagan, a guy that we made a big deal about signing in the offseason. He could be back by the middle of August as well.
Yeah, trying to put yourself in the mindset of the higher-ups in the Reds organization is think about all these moving pieces that you have. This person could get healthy. This person might be ready to be called up from AAA. This person, just trying to figure out how all this stuff will kind of connect together here. I'm glad it's not me making these calls. It's a lot to pay attention to, but the Reds do have a fair amount of options. And what you're saying, too, like these people aren't easily replaceable in terms of their talent. It's just the amount of those players that exist, like with the relievers or whatever. There's other people of the similar talent level that can swap out with.
You swap out and give him some time. The one that would hurt the most is Nick Martinez, just because of what we're going to see him do tomorrow with an opener. Well, today.
Yeah,
with an opener and then him getting a bulk of a run in the middle of the game. That's one where you're like, man, that's why you brought him in here to swing between both of those. And to lose that would really suck.
Yeah, he was a guy you felt confident with as far as being like that glue within. It's like, oh, we got a weird situation. Get Martinez. He can figure it out.
Yeah, he can figure it out. Just get him in the opener and put him in the middle. Like, we'll let it rip until he can't rip. That would suck the most. Because your starting pitching depth has been affected by injuries as well. Like I say Carson Spires, you say Carson Spears. He'll miss a start. He'll be back. But like Brandon Williamson, we don't know. Like we haven't heard anything. He got the injection and we're seeing what's going on with his shoulder. Like, see ya. Ashcraft, see ya. We don't know. And then Connor Phillips has not been great. He's back in Arizona trying to get his confidence built back up. You kind of don't want to rush Rhett Lauder. I mean, he's in Double-A right now. You're kind of letting him naturally progress. Hopefully, he makes the jump to Triple-A in early August, and then maybe has 1 or 2 starts, and then he could finish the year up here. But you don't ever want to rush someone that has the potential to be a top of the rotation starter. And same with Chase Burns when I pee. Like, you don't want to rush that either.
You don't want to ruin future years for the short-sighted portion of what we're going through with this current season. Although I want us to do everything possible to make this team good enough to make it to the playoffs, but the options that we have right now, we need to shift some things around.
Yeah, shift it around, see what you can get, see how you can plug in. Maybe you get someone who's like, we tried him up here and it didn't work out for us. So here you go, have him. Take a good whack at him. But it is a little early to just the thing is it's not. Morosi is putting this out here, just indicating, and that's fine. Let the smoke roll out. But the Reds were also potentially going to be buyers at the deadline last year. The smoke rolled out, and all we got was Sam Ball.
Right.
So you can't trust which way the wind blows.
And could be people just leaking information to see how that affects potential trades.
Or to be like, yeah, and be like, hey, what can we get? And they're just they're trying to boost that, try to boost the market, just, inflation.
Yeah, whether it's true or not, it's out there and we're talking about it. So it's having some effect.
Yeah, and the Reds could also be buyers, okay? They could be buyers. They could hop in with the Phillies and the Mariners on the Brent Rooker sweepstakes, and we already built out that trade last week. I'm not changing it. That could happen. So, and I really do want it to happen. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Say the Reds pull off a run. It could happen, but I don't know. It's not anything to get too overly worked up about, and knowing that you could get better for a little long-term whatever from trading some dudes and knowing you have some depth, totally fine. Totally fine. So let's look at who's coming back and who got put on the shelf. We talked about a lot of these dudes, but the big one we didn't talk about is Brent Suter. Partial tear of the left teres major muscle.
Not that one.
Yeah, I was about to say, do you know what the left teres major muscle is?
No, and I don't even think my computer did because it keeps showing up as a spelling error, but it's correct. I've never heard of that muscle before.
I haven't either. And the funny thing is our computers are trying to correct it from teres to trees, apostrophe trees.
Get out of here, computer. You're so dumb.
Dude, you're so stupid. Then I had to explain to my computer, the teres major is a thick but flattened rectangular muscle that extends from the inferior posterior scapula to the medial lip of the intertubercle groove of the humerus. What a dumb computer.
Yeah, computer, you idiot.
Fucking moron. There's a picture of it. It's right here. It's the muscle behind the shoulder bone that connects the arm over here. To me in this photo that you're looking at, it just looks like a big piece of salmon.
I was just thinking the exact same thing. It looks like a really nice piece of salmon.
Yeah, it looks so good.
Looks important.
It looks like it belongs on a bagel.
Yeah, I want to get some asparagus with that there. Put a little drizzle, something on top of there.
Ooh, mommy, a little teriyaki.
I could do that.
Yum, 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 yum. I'll tell you what, I'm just sick and tired of looking up new muscles to tear and bones to break.
Yeah, man, we've seen so many diagrams of like body parts and muscles I've never heard of before just to find out new ways the Reds can just have injuries.
Yeah, hey, how many different ways can the Reds break their bodies and also break my heart?
Yeah, this is bad. And I'm tired of having all this WebMD stuff up on my computer now.
So either pull in another lefty from somewhere or trade for one if you want to. I don't know. Suter was so dependable this year.
Fun guy, too.
Fun guy. You know, the pride of Nagel Middle School, right behind me, obviously. Come on. TJ Friel is back this weekend. He went down to Louisville, started rehab assignment on Sunday, went 0 for 3, walked, scored a run. He's back this weekend.
Yeah, a lineup that includes TJ Friel is a much better lineup than without.
Supremely better. Now, what's going to be interesting is to see what the Reds do when he comes back. Blog Red Machine, a product of Fansided, which is always a great source of news. They put out a opinion piece on it, and their thing is that they said that the Reds would DFA Austin Slater.
Really?
I don't buy that.
Yeah, we just got him.
He just got up here. You might hate me saying this.
Okay.
And I think a lot of Reds fans are going to hate me saying this. I think the first thing that you do is you probably end up sending Rhys Hines back down.
That's going to ruffle some feathers.
It's going to ruffle a lot of feathers. You either send Rhys Hines down. He had a killer tear. Then the All-Star break happened, and he had a bad weekend. I don't think he had a hit over the weekend.
I don't recall one.
Exactly.
And that's an impossible rate from a clip from to keep hitting at. If he would, he'd be the best player ever.
He'd be amazing.
Yeah. So, and he was brought up sooner than expected because of all the injuries. So I'm not opposed to him going back down, taking this positive experience that he had right now with the Reds, going back to AAA, building on those things, and taking like, okay, this is how they approached me after they kind of figured me out after the first week. How do I work on those weaknesses?
Yeah. I totally agree with you. I don't think you can send Will Benson down after defensively how good he was all weekend. Mm-hmm. And the two plays he made tonight in Atlanta, plus the homer. Maybe this is the resurgence that Will Benson has been pining for.
Yeah, and us as well. So you go with what is kind of hot right now. I know Rhys Hines is coming off the hottest week that we've seen a Reds have.
Like ever.
Yeah. However, I think long-term for the rest of this year, I do have more confidence with a Will Benson. Not saying Rhys Hines isn't going to live up to some great expectations and become a great, great baseball player. He's still just so fresh with, getting up to speed. So I don't see it being a problem for him to go back down and just taking this experience, building on it, coming back, an even better, more effective player for the Reds.
Can I give you one that I think should happen?
Yes, please. Okay.
And it's deserved at this point, I think. The average numbers would be like, oh man, then you're crazy, Billy. What are you talking about? But then you look at the on-base percentage and slugging, you go, from a right fielder who can't throw, it should be Jake Fraley.
Of being sent back?
Yeah, he's got two options.
Yeah.
He has two options. You might as well use them, and then you can, guess what? If Reese doesn't keep hitting or Will doesn't keep hitting, then you flip it.
Yeah, and I know we have in recent memory, Fraley dropped that bases clearing hit, and he's had some other kind of just where he just slaps it down. It has been very unproductive as far as any slugging goes with the Reds. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I think we're looking for offense right now, and I think Reese Hines provides better offense than what Jake Fraley will.
Yeah. Maybe he turns it around in Atlanta. Maybe he gets a start again tomorrow, or today. Mm-hmm. And he hits a dinger and takes out the tomahawk choppers out there in left field in the bleachers. Mm-hmm. Just pelts one. That'd be great. Who knows, man? But it's just like I feel like you know what you're getting with Rake right now, and it's not something that I'm going to send someone back down who was hot as fuck hitting homers for. That's what I would do.
I can see the benefits of both, but I would like to see Reese Hines stay up here. We all want to see him stay up here, and I do think Jake Fraley would be the more appropriate send back down when right now what you're looking for is offense.
Yeah, send Jake down, and when you send him down, he's got 15 days. Mm-hmm. That's the minimum he can spend down there after you send him back down.
Yeah.
Send him there, let him hang out, or take some more time off. Take a family leave. Mm-hmm. But that's what I would do. But I would also trade for Brent Rooker and solve all these problems.
Yeah, that can still happen, and I'm holding out hope for it because I still think they got to have something else left in the bag there to go after more of a big bat.
Yeah. Well, there is a possibility of a big bat coming to rejoin this lineup, though. Mm-hmm. Matt McClain joined the boys in Atlanta, and he will begin a rehab assignment on August 12th. The plan is for him to remain with the team through the rest of his treatment before the rehab assignment. So get back with the boys, get acclimated, get the juices flowing. Matty Ice is coming back for the September push. Boys, Mighty Matt's back in town.
He's chewing bubble gum. He's hanging out with the boys.
He's hanging. He's slanging. He's going to make Chris eat his words.
Please, make me. I'll eat him. And he was in the dugout here for the first game, and he's powwowing around with the boys. In some of the interviews beforehand, it looked like he's very adamant about coming back in August. So I'm hoping that's the case.
I hope so, too. This could be another one of those little jolts, like him just being around. It's like, come on, boys, remember? We're fun. And they're like, yeah.
He's right.
He's right. Then they just go out there and hit dingers. And Will Benson's like, I remember how fun Matty Ice was.
He's got the bubblegum bucket on his head again. He's crazy.
That's so crazy. Oh, my God. We're going to start winning. We're going to go on a run. We're going to trade for Brett Rooker. We're going to win on the third wild card spot. But that could be just like hypothetical.
We might be just getting ahead of ourselves.
A little bit ahead of ourselves. We could be. But, still fun. Mm-hmm. So glad he's back.
Yeah, same.
Here's what we got coming up. Okay, so tonight, the Reds beat the Braves. You got two more in Atlanta. And something very interesting happened during the game. During a defensive, they made a defensive change with a 1-1 count in the ninth. And they pulled Austin Riley. He left. And Zach Short came up and played third. Why did Austin Riley leave the game?
He's having a baby.
He's having a baby. Congratulations.
Yay!
I wanted to thank your wife so much for having this baby right now.
Great timing.
Excellent timing. Because that means he's out for the next 2 games.
Yeah, and we really need that.
Any little thing that can help And Cowboys said it, and we've said it. It's not who you play, it's when you're playing them.
Correct.
And they're playing them shorthanded without Ozzie Albies. They're playing them without Acuna. They're playing them with a Matt Olson who's not hitting well. They're playing them with Sean Murphy who's not hitting well. Now Austin Riley's out from there.
Yeah, and we're playing down a lot of guys too. So this is how it goes.
It just levels it. I mean, look, today, Tuesday, they are facing off against Chris Sale. That's not an easy task. But, there's their bullpen and there's other stuff. Maybe, anything can happen. It's baseball. Something, the Reds they took Ronaldo Lopez to the woodshed.
Yeah, man, they tend to play pretty well against teams that are really competitive. So this could be a great test for them if they could beat Chris Sale and then we can play ball against the best of them. Take that mentality in, beat up the Rays, and keep clubbing.
Yeah, because then on Wednesday, 12:20 start, Frankie Montas versus I don't know what this guy's name is. TBD.
Oh, that guy. I've heard about him.
Yeah, he's a high level prospect in the organization. He's like 2 or 3, but right in front of him is cash consideration.
I know that cash dude. Very aloof.
Very aloof. So, like we said, the Reds are going to have opener Martinez, and then whatever. Montes on Wednesday, off day Thursday, and then for the Redlegs, you've got Lodolo, Abbott, Green going into Tampa. You feel good about all 3 of those going into that awful, terrible, sweaty, stinky dome.
Gross. Ugh.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I like that too. Lodolo starting off there, that's difficult. Good luck. And then Abbott, a completely gear shift there, and good luck with Green.
Yeah.
Throwing gas.
So, look, I don't want tonight or last night to be snake oil, which we've seen so much this year where they win the first one and then they crumble. It's put up or shut up time.
Absolutely.
You take 2 out of 3 from both of these. You make 2 games up. You're only 4 games under with 70 some games to play.
Yeah, the easier you can make this for yourself, you can make this easier for yourself just by winning. Just do that because we're always looking at how many games back we might be from the wild card and all that, and it gets to be a bit stressful, and I'm sure it's really stressful for them. I just want to see them start getting on a roll here, play some good baseball, beat up on the Braves if you can, take 2 out of 3, and just start building those wins.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like when last year when they got to June and just popped. It felt like we were getting there with Reese, and there was that fun little bubble where it's oh,
yeah, here it is. Is this the magic mix?
Oh, and then it's here's the All-Star break. You're and they dropped the Sunday game to the Fish. And they could have taken all 3 of those. They dropped that one to the Rockies, or they could have taken all 4. And you just were so close. Maybe this is the start of that for the boys, where it's you doubted us? All right, we went to Washington and we sucked, but here we go. Maybe this is it. And then to start next week, you go home Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday against the Cubs. And dude, that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday against the Cubby Wubbies, that's when your trade deadline happens, is on July 31st.
It is going to be quite a wild week. That is going to be some intense games. It's going to be really fun. And who knows what's going to be happening in the next week.
Yeah. You know what? This is for the Reds playoff baseball.
It really is.
This is it. This is when it starts for you. Sometimes it starts for teams way late. It starts when actually the playoffs start. Sometimes it starts for boys at the trade deadline. Sometimes it starts in the middle of September. But right now, this is it, because then if you lose, then you're eliminated.
Very true. I know we're not exactly the complexion of team that we wanted to be. We're not exactly where we would like at this point in the year, but we are fighting for a playoff spot.
Yeah. And look, the NL is such a mess that we're in that third to last spot. Mm-hmm. Who knows, man? Who knows? We can go on a run and you can get there and you can be that third wild card team, and then you get on a run in the postseason. Next thing you know, you're in the World Series playing against the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, it's happened.
It's happened. I don't know. I really did. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the Reds do. We'll see what they do in this next week. Monday will be a very interesting pod, so we'll see where we go from there. But in the meantime, let's round third and head for home. Chris, what you got, buddy?
Oh, I know I got some shows coming up. Just a few here. I will be at the Comet tonight. That'll be a fun one. Working with Wayne. He's doing like a residency there. It'll be good. There'll be a few other comics. I will be in Lexington on August the 4th. Shh. And then I will be Commonwealth Sanctuary August 24th. I think that'll be I can't remember what that's supposed to be for. I think that might be a Cool Show Man. No, it's not. It's something else.
Crosstown.
Crosstown, that's what it is. And yeah, let's just go with those. Oh, actually, one more. It's September 20th. I'll be at the Comet with Luke Knoll. If you guys know him, he plays guitar and all that.
Oh, from Snow.
Yeah, that is Knoll.
Snow.
Related to Today.
Today.
What you got?
Nothing. I'm going to be in a cabin in the woods this weekend for my friend Spencer
That's so
Schaefer's
cool.
bachelor party. Congrats, Spence. You're doing it.
Good job.
Good on you, pal. So, yeah. Thank you to Sports Drink for hosting the audio of this podcast. We appreciate it. They're a coffee shop in New Orleans. Go check them out. Go to intheclutch.com. Dude, we dropped some new stuff. It's for Nick Castellanos, ex-Red. Whenever something happens in the world or in the news and it impacts our world, you know Nick Castellanos is going to homer.
Mm-hmm. He's going to hit some dingers when there's some bad stuff happening.
Yeah, have news, hit bomb. That's what Nick does. So, something happened, Cassie homered. I mean, it's just, we had to get some designs up. They're up. Use the promo code NASTYBOYS, all caps. Get your 10% off. Check those out. And thanks, dude, for having me in the fart dunge. You know, letting her rip. Sniff of the chin chill and keeping your fish alive.
Hey, for right now, I guess. I'm not sure how much air and water they got, but hey, I'm glad to have you back here. Glad to have you in the fart dunge. You as well, Nasty Nation. Thanks for coming.
And thank you for watching and listening. And as always, go Red Legs!
Go Red Legs!